What's good, guys? It's me, Jared the Weep here, back again with another video. Okay, this video is a new what if. I did a poll almost a week ago, and I wanted to see if you guys wanted me to continue my old what ifs, and it was 50-50, and then it became 60-40 from my memory. So this is what if Madara went to ReZero. This will be part 1. So hopefully you guys enjoy. I also have a Discord if you want to be invited. I'll try to invite you. Anyway, I have to tell what's going on in this what if. This Madara will have 2 of his renegades, but he's not going to have his Hashirama cells, or he will not also have Sage of the Six Paths. He only have two renegades. He also has a Sharingan, but not his Renegan Sharingan. It's just his normal 2 renegades. So that's all I have to say. Let's get straight into the what if. So Madara, after Madara was walking out of, oh my goodness, completely forgot what it's called. You know, out of the where Sasuke learned about all about the Uchihas history. I can't remember the name of it. Well, that's where Madara was walking out of. He starts to see this weird presence. It felt I'm gonna say something like Madara can sense magic. You'll be able to see what I'm talking about, but he sensed something. Not of chakra, but something else. He says, "What is this?" And he sees that something dark purple and blackish is starting to come up. And Madara says, "You dare to attack me? Do you know who I am?" And he hears a small voice, and it starts to get louder, and it starts to hurt Madara's ears. He says, "Who is this?" And Madara then pulls out his fan and his sight, and he says, "Come show yourself. Fight me. Like a man." I don't know why I did that voice. My apologies. Anyway, Madara then his legs start to get swallowed up, and he awakens one of his my apologies, one of his Sharingans, and he tries to see what is it that's grabbing him. He thought it's a genjutsu or something. He tries to break it, but it's not breaking. He starts to get sucked up. He starts to get sucked up into it, and he keeps hitting it with his fan, trying to repel it or to repel it back to the enemy, but it's not working. And his arms start to get absorbed too into the Satella's masma. After he gets sucked up, he gets all the way sucked up by Satella's masma. As Madara starts to gain consciousness, he feels a little worried. He says, "What is this place? Did something kill me? How could I have died so easily?" And Madara sees Satella, and he hears what, if you watch ReZero, you know what she always says. And he says, "What do you mean by love? What is it? What are you talking about? Who needs me?" And she says, "I'm very weak right now. I'll speak to you later." And so, yes, Madara gets transported to Subaru. And you'll see where Subaru is about to pop up on the screen, but Madara is just being transported there. You'll see where Madara meets Subaru. As Subaru finally starts to realize that he's not the main character and okay, not a superhero or like like the isekai protagonist that he wants to be. He goes down an alley, and that's where he meets Madara Uchiha. He's already beat up the alley NPCs, and Madara looks straight into Subaru's eyes. This is a couple minutes after Subaru's been transported too. And Subaru says, "Why are your eyes so red? They look like..." As Madara looks at him, he says, "My red eyes, huh? What do you know about them? And who are you?" And Subaru says, "Natsuki Subaru. I just came here. You're not from this world either. I can see." And Madara says, "Whoa, you're an interesting one. How did you know I'm not from this world?" And Subaru says, you have like a shotgun or something. And Madara looks surprised and he says, how do you know about the shotgun? And Subaru says, I read it from a manga book. It's about this hero. He says, never mind about that. It's from a book, from my world. And Madara says, I'm from a book in your world. And Subaru says, no, I've never seen your character. Maybe you're not introduced yet. And Madara says, okay, anyway, stop being distracted. How do you know about the Sharingan? And he said, and Subaru asks, I just told you from a book. And he says, no, that doesn't make any sense. Why would I be from a book? And Madara then sees Felt. Oh my goodness, my throat. I can't speak for that long. Jesus, I suck at making videos now. Madara sees this and he says, get out the way, Subaru. And he kicks Felt right in the gut. And he says, she was about to jump over you and kick you. And he says, oh, she's already knocked out. And he takes the insignia because he sees it, because he has his Sharingan awakened. And Subaru says, why did you have to knock her out? And Madara says, you should watch your tone. I think you're the person I'm looking for. That woman probably sent me here. I want to get back to the Hidden Leaf Village. I need to tell Hashirama about this other world. And Subaru says, oh, that's the first Hokage. I think I heard about that. And he says, you know about the first Hokage, but not me. You're a very interesting one. And Subaru then says, there's another person coming in. Oh my goodness. There's another person coming into the alleyway. And Madara says, she's not human. I can tell. She feels like that other person I saw. And he looks at her and he says, yeah, it's that same person. And he remembers that she told her name, Satella. And Subaru says, Satella, you don't know her name. Haven't you just met her? No, it feels like the same person. I need to go ask. And he says, I'm getting really annoyed with this world already. I shouldn't destroy it yet because I might injure something I need to protect in this world. And he goes over there to Emilia and he says, what is your business here? You look, you're not human. What are you? And Emilia says she's an elf. And she wants her insignia back. And Madara says, I don't think so. I want you to tell me why did you bring me to this world? I know who you are. You're that same thing that brung me here. With that purple stuff. Oh, sorry, that was my dresser. I hit it. And Subaru says, you should calm down. You don't know everything about what's going on in this world. And Madara says, shut up, Subaru. My name is Madara Uchiha. I am not going to be stuck in this world for all of eternity like that woman said. And he says, tell me right now, or I'll put you into infinite loops of sadness. And he's talking about his genjutsu. And Emilia then summons Puck, and she says, just give me back the insignia. No one has to be harmed. And Subaru tries to calm down the situation, but Madara says, no. This dang woman's gonna die if she doesn't get me out of this world. I know it's her, Satella. And Emilia gets really angry that Madara said this. And yeah, they both start to fight. And Madara dodges Emilia and Puck. Puck is not in his true form, so Puck ain't doing nothing to Madara. And Madara just only needs a Sharingan. He doesn't even need his Rinnegan. I'm pretty sure Madara doesn't even need a Sharingan. He just has it awakened. He's dodging Emilia's attacks pretty easily. And Madara then hits one of the attacks straight back at Emilia, one of the ice shards, and it goes straight through her gut and leg. And Subaru says, everyone calm down, and Madara says, shut up. And he pulls out his death sight, and he was about to kill Emilia. But Subaru got in the way, and Puck shoots an eye shard right into Madara's eye. But Madara uses his Izanagi, and it goes straight through Puck's eye. He says, I can't believe I had to waste an eye on that attack. And he couldn't use his substitution jutsu because it was a little too fast for him. He was paying attention to Subaru. And yes, so Puck is knocked out from that ice shard. It went straight through his head. He's not dead yet. But Madara says, get out the way, Subaru. I'm killing Satella right here. This dumb elf. And Subaru says, no, you're gonna have to kill me too. And Madara says, fine then. And he sliced right through both of them. And Subaru starts to scream out in pain. And Madara says, geez Louise, I'm getting tired of this world already. And Madara starts to walk away, but then he gets summoned back to where he first responded. And he says, what? What's going on? And he sees Subaru again. And Subaru says, why do you have red eyes again? And Madara thinks this is a genjutsu. Like, he says, I just was done speaking with you. And Subaru says, what are you talking about? And Madara says, you're Subaru, Natsuki. Don't you remember? I just killed you. And Subaru says, what do you mean killed me? I never died. And he starts to remember what Elsa did to him. And he says, I'm pretty sure I didn't die. And he says, well, nice to meet you. I wonder why you have a Sharingan. And Madara says, he says, oh, I see. Every time you die, you get And it's working for Madara too. He can't say return by death. And he says, why can I not say it? What's going on? This dumb Satella. And Madara was like, I'm so done with this world. Subaru Natsuki, we have already met. But I'll be protecting you until I get back to the Hidden Leaf Village. Come follow me. I already defeated these alley thugs. And Madara says, oh, wait. He says, wait here. And he kicks, he does the same thing to Feld again, and he takes the insignia and gives it back to Emilia. And he says, you're very lucky, Satella. And Emilia yells at him, but he walks away. And Subaru says, oh, you already gave back the insignia to the person who needs it? And he says, yes. Now let's go to a place where we can discuss how we're going to get back to our worlds. And they go to the loot house. They were just walking around and they discovered the loot house. And they don't have a place to stay. So they walk there on accident. And like I said, Madara and Subaru find this loot house. And Madara explained, like on the way, about more of himself. About the war against the Uchiha and the Senju clan. And Subaru is very fascinated about this. And he says, I can't believe I was transported like someone this powerful. And Subaru then sees Felt again. And he says, isn't that person you kicked earlier today? And she's on the ground. It looks like she's been injured. And they see Elsa is right there. And she brings Felt into that loot house. And Madara says, well, it's not my problem. And Subaru says, no, we should go and help. She's a child, remember? And Madara says, children die a lot in my time. Lots of my brothers died during the war. It's just stuff happens. And Subaru says, well, I'm going in there. And Madara says, no, stop. And he tries to put Subaru into a genjutsu, but Subaru doesn't turn around. He goes straight to try to help Felt. And Madara says, oh, this dumb idiot. And he runs after Subaru. But as soon as he goes inside the loot house, he doesn't see Subaru anywhere. He sees Subaru up on the ceiling, and he has lots of daggers in his body, and he's bleeding out. And Madara says, "Who could have done this so fast? What the heck?" And he sees Elsa, and Elsa says, "Hopefully you'll be stronger than than the person who came before you." And Madara says, "Oh, lady, you don't know what you're talking about." And Madara pulls out his scythe. "All I need is this to defeat you." And Elsa throws a dagger at Madara, but Madara says, "Oh, you want to do that?" And he shoots his fan right at Elsa, and it stabs her right in the gut. You know, her dagger, but it doesn't affect her. And Madara says, "What?" And she starts to blitz Madara, but Madara just jumps away, and he says, "It looks like no one's in the way." And then he uses his fire style, destroy all flames, and he burns Elsa. He almost kills her with this attack. He's human, so it's not that OP, but it's still OP. But it kills Felt and Old Man Ram because they were in the place, but he didn't see them. Madara didn't see them, so he kills both of them. Yeah, they were at the wrong place at the wrong time. They couldn't survive that Destroy All Flames attack. But Elsa barely survived. And he destroys the loot house. And he says, "Okay, it looks like she's gone." And as soon as he says she's gone, Madara gets transported back to the alleyway. And he says, "What the heck is this?" So it is Subaru is doing this. Every time he dies, he makes him come back here. And Madara goes straight to the loot house. He ignores Subaru this time. And yes, he waits a couple hours. And he finally waits for Elsa to show. But Felt shows up and he kicks her again. Like he keeps doing the same thing. He's saying, "I'm getting so annoyed. This is my third time doing this." And he doesn't kill Felt, he says, "You're the reason I keep going to this reset." And he takes the insignia and ties up both Ram and Old Man Ram and Felt so they won't be doing any more harm. And he leads Subaru to his own devices. And he sees Subaru and Emilia are coming this way now. And Elsa is also coming too. So Madara says, "Okay, I'm getting so tired. I'm just going to end this in one blow." And Madara waits for Elsa and Subaru and Emilia are way far behind, but Madara sees them because of his Sharingan. So Madara's look like, and Madara. Okay, my apologies. I kicked my lava lamp over, so my apologies. That was the noise. Sorry for the bad edit. Anyway, Madara asks Elsa's name, and Elsa gives her full name. And Madara says, "Well, prepare to die. I already have the insignia. I'm going to give it back to that Satella woman." And Elsa then explains that Satella died over almost 100 to 400 years ago by a sage, Orion, the Sword Saint, and oh my goodness, what was the other one? Oh, the dragon. Yes, the dragon. How could I forget the dragon? And Madara says, "Oh, so I guess it's a descendant of that Satella then. Okay, that makes more sense. But thank you for telling me this." And she says, "No problem, but you're going to die for learning about this." And Madara says, "Sure, I already defeated you before. Try learning from this attack." And Elsa says, "What do you mean?" And Madara shoots his fire style, Destroy All Flames. Yes, he destroys the whole block. And Madara says, "Boom. There, she's gone. Now I don't have to worry about Subaru being killed by this woman Now I need to go and find him. But Elsa barely survived. She was still crawling. And Madara says, "You're still alive? Okay then." And Madara says, "I never thought I'd have to use this." He summons his Susanoo's arm. He doesn't go full Susanoo. He summons his arm Susanoo. And he cuts her straight in half, and he keeps cutting her into small pieces. And he says, "There, it's all done." And Subaru and Emilia go over there and see that the whole block is destroyed, along with the half of the loot house. And Madara says, "There you are, descendant. I've been looking for you, Subaru. After I got done with this Elsa woman, I come to find you. I was gonna come and find you. We must figure out how to get out this world." And Emilia asks, "What do you mean out this world?" And Puck summons himself, and he says, "That animal. Please don't let that animal attack me." And he says, "What is your name? I have this insignia." That's what they keep calling it. And Emilia says her name, and he says, "Okay, Emilia, the descendant. I won't call you by that other name, because I guess it's not your name." And Subaru was surprised that Emilia gave out her name. And Subaru thanks Madara, which he sees Madara has his Sharingan out, and he says, "Why do you have a Sharingan?" And Madara says, "You already know why. It's from a book." And he says, "I don't have a place to stay." Now he says, "Make arrangements, Emilia. I don't feel like just sleeping on the floor." And Emilia says she could arrange something for inside the village because she doesn't like Madara like that. And at the Roswell estate. And Madara says, "Fine, that will work for me. It'll work pretty good." And yeah, everything goes well. And Subaru then goes inside that loot house to see Felt and Old Man Ram are still tied up. They both let them go. And Felt gets captured by Reinhardt. That's why you see Reinhardt on the screen. He stays in the background. He doesn't know what to do. He has to report this, and he doesn't know who did it. This is Reinhardt arriving a lot later when they all left. So he says, "Who could have done this travesty?" And yeah, he puts Felt into capture, and he says, "Who could have done this?" And like I was saying, Felt then explains that this guy with red eyes did it, and he was going off with an elf. And Reinhardt says, "An elf? Thank you for telling me. You'll be coming with me." He says, "I need you for something." Because, and yeah, that's all I'm going to leave right there. So Felt doesn't get arrested. Reinhardt takes her. And that sounds kind of about how I'm phrasing it. Okay, okay, like to the Roswell mentioned, but Emilia and Subaru and Madara are going to be there before Reinhardt. And now I'm going to jump a couple of days into the future. After they arrived, Subaru, yeah, like I said, it takes a couple of days for Reinhardt to arrive. So Subaru acts as normally as possible while Madara is still in the village. But Madara doesn't stay in the village that long. He thinks it's too peaceful. He watches Subaru from afar. And Reinhardt arrives at the mansion. And Subaru starts to feel very like something bad's gonna happen to him. This is Subaru. Like, he gets bit by the dog. And this dog puts a curse on him. And he feels like this something terrible is gonna happen to him. And he doesn't know why. And Madara is just watching. And Reinhardt, like I said, Reinhardt just arrived, and he says, "One of your associates destroyed a half of a block in the slums, Emilia. Was it this man?" This is what Reinhardt's saying. And Subaru says, no, it was Madara. Madara Uchiha. You should stay away from him. I don't I don't think he's not a bad person. He defeated this Elsa woman. And Reinhardt says, Elsa, that vampire, he's a lot stronger than I thought. Well, I guess I can't blame him. He tried to kill her. Uh, I'll wrap this case up then. And Reinhardt says, where is Emilia? And Subaru says, she's in her room. And Reinhardt says, where's Roswald? I need to have a meeting. I just need to see her insignia to try something out. And Subaru says, sure, go ahead. And Subaru goes back to his room, and he feels a lot weaker. He starts to get a lot weaker and weaker. And then Madara starts to notice that Subaru's, he feels something in Subaru, and he starts to feel like it's dying, and he says, no. And he buzzes in through the window, and he tells Subaru not to fall asleep. And Subaru then wakes himself back up. But Subaru starts to cough up blood from the curse. He says, what is this thing? What did they do to you? And Madara says, you really should have just stayed here at the mansion. This wouldn't have never happened. And Reinhardt buzzes in through through the door with Emilia, and he says, what's going on with Subaru? Are you Madara? And Subaru tries to explain what's going on, but he keeps coughing up blood. And Subaru is starting to die. And he says, what the heck? And it's about to be a whole week. This is why Subaru's dying. It takes a whole week for him to die, or a couple of days, from my memory. Like I said, it took Reinhardt a couple of days to get there, because he had to wrap up the case a little bit, and he wanted to know more information about it. And he says, oh my goodness, you've been cursed. And Reinhardt runs over to him, but it's too late for Subaru. And Madara says, what do you mean by curse? He can't die. I'm going to And Reinhardt says, what do you mean by What is that? And Madara says, I can't say it. If Subaru dies, I'm not going to... And Madara says, no. And he starts to run out, and he says, there has to be a cure. And yeah, Madara gets reset once more. Yeah, Subaru is just such an annoying pain for Madara. Madara should have just stayed with him. And yes, Madara gets reset along with Subaru again. And he doesn't know why Subaru was cursed. And the only times he can think that he was cursed was when he was in the village, or when he was at the Roswell mansion. So this time, on the second, I guess it wouldn't be the second loop for Reinhardt. Not Reinhardt, Madara. Well, like, first he killed the... I gotta remember, so I can remember for future reference. First he killed Subaru in the first timeline. Second, Subaru died by Elsa. Third, Subaru just died again due to the dog curse. And yeah, so just keep that in track. He only died 3 times, but Madara only remembers it. Now it's over. Now I'm gonna change the scene.